Good morning, children. Now, today's topic we will do the extraction process of aluminium, means metallurgy of aluminium. In the previous lecture, we discussed that in the extraction of metal, first we do the dressing of the ore, and after that we do the reduction of the oxide, right? So, in the reduction of oxide, we discussed one point that we have to select a suitable reducing agent. This reducing agent should be fit in that way it is having more affinity towards oxygen than the affinity of metal towards the oxygen. So the metallic oxide, when it's treated with the reducing agent, this reducing agent fetches away the oxygen of the metal oxide and then the metal is extracted out. This selection of reducing agent is depend upon the strong bond of the metal and oxygen, means how strong the bond of metal with the oxygen. If the metal is having more affinity towards the oxygen, more stronger reducing agent is required. And with that reference, we have discussed that carbon monoxide or hydrogen are in general used as reducing agent. But those metals which are in the topmost part of the activity series, they are having very firm bonding with their oxygen, means the metal is more strongly attached to the oxygen, and these common reducing agents are unable to take away this oxygen. So in that list, if we see the topmost metals, if you recall, and see the reference tables also, in that potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, these metals are. So we see that these metals, oxides, cannot be reduced by common reducing agent carbon or carbon monoxide or hydrogen. For such cases, we require or you can say this reduction method is almost fail, and that is why we require reduction by electrolysis process. We discussed earlier this point also. So here this electrolysis process which we do, that is therefore named as electrolytic extraction or electrometallurgy. Now as example, the extraction of aluminium is the typical process, means here step to step we will do as example of the metallurgy process. In your syllabus only aluminium's extraction is there in detail, and so we will be doing that. Now in the extraction of aluminium, we go the same steps. First step in the metallurgy, we discuss selection of the ore. You have taken you have memorized the names of the ores of different metals, and that you have remembered the ores of aluminium too. And if you recall, you have learned the ore of aluminium, bauxite is the main ore. So most of the aluminium is extracted from bauxite. In India also we have a good deposition of bauxite. So from this bauxite we get the aluminium. Beside that aluminium, other ores which I have seen, that is corundum and cryolite. Here we are focusing on the main ore, that is the bauxite. Now we will see how the bauxite is just used to extract out the aluminium. So as a first step, selection of ore, we have selected bauxite. So here the electrometallurgy, which the word we have studied, the electrometallurgy. And the bauxite is the ore. Bauxite is having the composition. What is the composition? Do you remember that? Yes, the bauxite's combination is Al2O3 dot 2H2O. This is the bauxite's formula. So here the composition of bauxite is Al2O3 dot 2H2O. This bauxite is collected from the earth crust, and of course it is having earthen impurities in it. So second step of the metallurgy process you have studied, after selection of ore, we collect the ore from the earth crust and then we do the concentration or dressing of the ore. For the dressing of the ore, we have discussed some of the methods like hydrolytic method, magnetic separation, and froth flotation. And same way that time I said some chemicals are also used. In this particular step, in this particular extraction process, we use another technique. You recall in class 9th and other lower classes, you have studied so many separation techniques for the mixture components. And in that one technique you have studied the use of solvent. In laboratories it is very common technique, means using the solvent. I take the example of one mixture, that is a glass powder mixed with some salt or maybe mixed with some sugar. You may take any of the example from these two. So glass powder mixed with salt, table salt, and you want to separate these components. For that sake, what we do, you remember that in that we add some water, means we take this mixture in a beaker and then we add some water in it. Stir it well, and after stirring what will happen? Yes, sodium chloride or the common salt will dissolve in it, whereas glass being insoluble will not dissolve. And then we filter it out, glass will be thrown out and the solution which you have of the sodium chloride or the common salt will be evaporated and obtained. Exactly same method we are taking. We use solvent extraction process in this because the impurities are insoluble in that solvent, means we select it cleverly, and the ore is soluble in that, means bauxite is soluble in that. So in this procedure means the procedure of the separation of the impurities or concentration of the ore is given by Bayer. So we study it under the heading Bayer's process. So therefore you may make two parts of the extraction of aluminium. One is the concentration of ore, which is studied under the heading Bayer's process, and the second one is the main extraction part of the aluminium, means separation of its oxygen from the aluminium oxide. Now I am doing the Bayer's process. In the Bayer's process, what is the procedure here? That we do the separation of the impurities from the ore by using a solvent, and the solvent which we use is concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide. We can use potassium hydroxide too, means both of these are equally used, but just now as example I am using sodium hydroxide. So we take a concentrated solution of NaOH. Now this NaOH is taken, means now see what happens. We take a big container. Actually it is an industrial process, so it is not in a small beaker, not like the lab that we have done for the sugar and glass or salt and glass powder. In this case big containers or drums are arranged, and in that drum we put crushed ore. The ore is just crushed properly, which is with the impurities. So ore plus the impurities are put in a big drum, and to that concentrated solution of NaOH is added. And as we add until stirring is done, this mixing is done, and doing a good stirring, what happens, all the impurities which are there in the bauxite, that impurities are insoluble in the NaOH. But the bauxite is aluminium oxide, is amphoteric. It is soluble in alkalis, and that is why, taking this point in the mind, when we put here NaOH dissolves all the bauxite in it. So what we use the word being amphoteric. Being amphoteric, bauxite or aluminium oxide dissolves in the alkali, whereas being non-amphoteric, impurities do not. I just dictate once again that how these impurities are removed from the bauxite by adding sodium hydroxide solution. Being amphoteric, bauxite means aluminium oxide hydrated dissolves in the alkali, whereas being non-amphoteric, impurities do not dissolve. So here the point amphoteric word is to be used. Clearly it should be mentioned, because these are the direct questions which are asked by board, and so each and every line should be known to you. So here what is that? That being amphoteric, bauxite or the aluminium oxide dissolves in NaOH, whereas being non-amphoteric, impurities do not. So what we see that we get our solution of bauxite in NaOH. This aluminium oxide does a reaction. I'll be writing the reaction after this. So this aluminium oxide reacts with the NaOH and forms the compound here. Whereas impurities have no reaction, so they are discarded out. We decant out this solution from the container, and now this solution is now not a solution, but it is a mixture of two compounds. The reaction is like this. It forms sodium aluminate with the NaOH and forms sodium aluminate plus water. This process is done approximately 150 to 200 degrees Celsius temperature. We take this temperature here, and this is just changing into the salt. Sodium aluminate is a salt and is a soluble salt, because all the sodium salts are soluble. Now this solution which you have extracted out, discarding the impurities out from the container, this is then subjected for the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of sodium aluminate is done at about 50 degree to 60 degrees Celsius. And after that, what we see that this is forming sodium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide is a precipitate, it is an insoluble compound, so it settles down in the drum. And after that, we are just decanting out the sodium hydroxide, and this aluminium hydroxide thereafter we heat. By heating up to 1100 degrees Celsius, this is just changing into aluminium oxide and water. Means the conversion into aluminium oxide and water. So this aluminium oxide we get from here, means aluminium oxide is separated out. If you see in this process, at the end of the Bayes process, not only we are getting rid of all the impurities, but also we are getting rid of this attached water molecules. So that is why this water is also removed and aluminium oxide is down in the hand. You recall we discussed during the extraction process the steps which we take. First is the selection of ore, which we did at the selection of ore, the bauxite. After that, the second part is concentration of ore, means removal of the earthen impurities, and that we do by dissolving in the sodium hydroxide solution. After that, we also have to convert the ore into its oxide form, and we have already converted it into its oxide form. Means now the bauxite is ready for the extraction process. For the extraction, the third step we discussed, it is the reducing agent. Cleverly we have to select a reducing agent. But aluminium oxide, the aluminium's bond with the oxygen is very strong. So reducing agents are failed. We discussed already. And that is why we have to subject it for the electrolytic extraction, means electrolysis of aluminium oxide is to be done. And here it is ready for the electrolysis. The next step is, after this, the reduction of the ore. Now in the reduction of ore, we are doing electrolytic reduction, means electrolysis of aluminium oxide. By the electrolysis, we get aluminium and oxygen. Now we are one step behind the availability of aluminium. When we tried the electrolysis of aluminium oxide, you just think about this electrolysis of aluminium, any common electrolysis process. And we discussed in detail about electrolysis process. What is there in the electrolysis process? The first thing is the subcompound should be an electrolyte, means it should allow the passage of current. Aluminium oxide is not a good electrolyte. Second thing is the compound should be in the molten state or in aqueous solution form as to get the free or mobile ions. When we do the aluminium oxide, solubility in water is almost no. Aluminium oxide does not dissolve in water. Then the melting is the option. When we do melting of aluminium oxide, it has a very high melting point, 2050 degrees Celsius. And so we have to heat it to this high temperature. But another major problem which comes at this temperature, what the product is obtained. This product is having very, means you can say it evaporates at that temperature. Aluminium which is obtained it is having a boiling point about 650 degrees Celsius. So aluminium starts melting at that temperature. So evaporating at that temperature. So because of that, the aluminium which we obtain, due to the less electric current passes, less quantity of aluminium is getting collected at the cathode. And out of that also most of the percentage is getting evaporated. That is why till the beginning of 20th century, even though we were having a very good deposition of bauxite, we were not able to get aluminium in good quantity. We were spending too much money and too lengthy this process. Beside that, it was also very expensive and the yield was very less. So that is why aluminium was one of the costliest most metal. And that time it was only in the reach of rich people. Only rich can afford that. But nowadays if you think about aluminium, it is said as named as poor man's silver. What has given the name poor man's silver to aluminium? What has made aluminium to become the silver or in the hand of poor man from the reach of the rich? Certainly something is done in that. So for the extraction of aluminium, some new method was discovered, some modification was made, and this was done by Hall-Héroult, which we will study in the next lecture, that what is the Hall-Héroult process. So this poor man's silver, if you think about, you will see that beggar's gold, yes, aluminium foil, packaging, all those chocolate wrappers, so many places, aluminium wire, so many places this aluminium is getting used. And since it is very cheap, that is why everybody is affording that. So we will see that what Hall-Héroult did for the extraction of aluminium, because of which the extraction of aluminium has become cheap and easy. So this we will do as a next part of the extraction of aluminium, the Hall-Héroult process.